Good morning, everybody. Today, we are planning to discuss on the concept of extension science. Extension is a word widely used in different disciplines, especially agriculture, veterinary science, dairy technology, fisheries, home science. So it's widely used among the development angles. Quite often, people stand and reflect on what is this science. Very often, when I used to start studying extension science as a science, my friends and colleagues in other different disciplines used to ask me, what are you studying? What are you specializing? I used to say, extension. Being a background of veterinary science, people used to think that I should be specializing in anatomy, physiology, clinical medicine, pathology. So there is something different when you talk about extension and extension science. My idea today is to introduce you to this concept in a very simple manner possible, from where you could go in detail and discuss about the aspects of extension science. It's an introductory class on what is extension science. Well, extension as a science has its beginning in 1873 in Cambridge University of UK. You all have heard about Cambridge University in the United Kingdom, from where this concept has evolved. The idea of extension science, if I say in very simple words, is helping people. Now, the question is, if you help people, do you call it as extension? Not necessarily always. Doctors help patients. Engineers help building the things. Managers take decisions. So you help in different ways, different people. All these have an element of helping people. But all these necessarily need not be an extension science. Then what makes extension science different from these people? As I said, usually when we say helping people for what and how? Two basic questions. We generally talk about extension science, as I said in the beginning, in the field of agriculture, in the field of fishery science, in the field of veterinary and dairy science, home science. Within that, when we talk about helping people, we talk about farmers, entrepreneurs. So the people who generally are being helped through extension science are the farmers, could be dairy farmers, could be agricultural farmers involved in crop or vegetables or whatever it is, and the fisheries farmers. Well, so the first part of the concept of extension is that extension is a science that tries to help farmers. Now, how do we help farmers? We could help farmers in different manner, of which all are not done by extension. Like you could start thinking about a new variety of rice, a new variety of banana, a new variety of another species or another strain. Well, that's usually thought about by the research in the system. For example, you have agricultural universities, widely prevalent. One of the important activities of the agricultural universities is to think about research. Research which would benefit the farming community. Now, when they do research in universities, agricultural universities, veterinary universities, and in fisheries universities, these research findings, which are meant for the farming community, need not necessarily reach the farming community if there is no mechanism by which these findings are taken to the community. To put it in simple ways, You have research findings in a research university. Now, when does the research accomplish its achievement? When the results reach the target group. Here, the target group are the farmers. So, when you have innovations, ideas, practices, technologies, etc., developed by a research institution, taken to the farmers, and the farmers start applying it, adopt or adapt it, and then get some results out of that, then the research is said to have accomplished its objective. The purpose of extension is to help farmers receive this from the agricultural institution. So to say, to link the agricultural or veterinary or fisheries universities or even research institutes. It need not necessarily be agricultural universities or veterinary universities. It can be research institutes like the International Livestock Research Institute, like Indian Council of Agricultural Research. You have got lots of other research institutions also functioning for the benefit of the farming community. So one of the ideas is to carry these findings, take it to the farmers and deliver it to them. So that's how we help the farmers. We are only on the first step, okay? So that means we have got some findings that are already available with institutions, formal institutions. The extension is an institutionalized way. It's an institutionalized way of carrying this to the farmers and delivering it to them. Is the job over? No, it's not over. It's not only delivering it to them and then helping them in the process of adopting it. For example, we say, a simple example would be to take a case of dairy cow, a cow that milks 15 to 20 liters a day, a good Jersey crossbred cow or a Holstein cow, to an ordinary farmer in India. There are different steps of clean milk production. For example, the university or a research institution says, before milking, wash the udder with potassium permanganate solution. That will prevent the occurrence of mastitis, a disease otherwise may cost a lot for the farmer. So what does extension do really there? It's not that going and telling the farmer that, okay, look at this. So if you are washing it with a solution called as potassium permanganate solution before milking, and after that you dip it with betadine, that is going to reduce the incidence of mastitis, which is a very costly disease as far as the farmer is concerned. So how do you do that? So it's not going and telling them that, okay, you do it. You need to demonstrate it to them. That is helping the people to help themselves. That means I prepare a solution. I prepare the dilution of potassium permanganate, putting the crystals inside and seeing, because once you put potassium permanganate, it becomes a very, very violet colorish thing. You don't require that much concentrate for washing. Then what do? You teach them along with them that how many crystals are to be put in a small mug of water and see how the color changes and what is the dilution you require and how do you prepare it, how do you splash it onto that, how do you wipe it, and then how do you start milking it, and then see how the farmer does it. Is it being done in the way that you are envisaging, as an extension worker is envisaging? And then he starts milking and then you may have to correct it. See, Mr. Ramu, it's not like this. You may have to hold on the udder like this. You may have to go for a full hand milking. Your milking method might actually injure the teat. So there are lots of things when we deliver an information from a research institution to a farmer. Research institution says that potassium permanganate solution is a disinfectant solution which can actually help in preventing mastitis. But it's the work of the extension worker or the extension science to see how do we transform this message from the institution to a language understandable by the farmer, work with him by the side, maybe 1 or 2 days, or as a group, which I am not going into detail because that itself is a big branch of extension science and methods of delivery. But the idea is you have to help him till he can help himself or herself. In the sense, I am showing him how to milk, what's the solution required, maybe 1 or 2 times through demonstrations or in his farm or asking him to come to an institute, whatever may be the method, you are showing that. And he himself get empowered to start doing it himself or herself. That means you are helping the farmer to help himself. And that is the fundamental concept of extension, or rather the foundation of extension is helping farmers to help themselves.